Welcome back. Meghan Markle takes on the tabloids and clickbait culture. She says the media and social media are in a race for the bottom, and they are dragging us all down with them. The Duchess of Sussex made the comments during a summit hosted by the New York Times. And the theme of the event was advancing women's equality. But here's what she said when the moderator, Andrew Ross Sorkin, asked her about her own leadership style, something he had read about.
I've read great things about you as a boss, and if you read the tabloids, you can read all sorts of crazy things about it being a boss. Do you feel like you have to do it differently? And do you, specifically given your role, do you feel like you have to do it differently?
Well, firstly, I would urge you not to read tabloids because I don't think that's healthy for anyone. Hopefully one day they come with a warning label like cigarettes do, like this is toxic for your mental health.
Are tabloids really as toxic as cigarettes? With the increasing attention to our mental health, something Meghan and Harry have championed, do we need some kind of a warning label like that? I'm joined by Hilary Fordwich. She's a British royal commentator, but she also has more than 30 years experience in business development and marketing. Hilary, you know, you could have looked at the answer that Meghan gave as tongue-in-cheek, but I kind of feel like she thinks that. And I think a lot of people think that too. Is there something to what she said?
Well, we can't get into the mind of Meghan Markle. It's a pleasure to be back with you, Ashleigh. But I would say, Ashleigh, the Wall Street Journal recently even ran a piece which was drawing analogies between actually Facebook and a lot of the online social media and the wars against the tobacco industries back in the 70s. And the legislation that came out of that with, in fact, warning signs on the packs of cigarettes. What we do know actually from, of course, that whistleblower at Facebook was most of these big online media companies, particularly Facebook, they know they are creating an addictive product, particularly for young people, just like the tobacco companies knew it. So as for Meghan Markle, I don't know whether she knows the science behind it or not. She certainly has leveraged and wanted to use the tabloids when it suited her, though.
So that, I mean, that's a really good point, and it's worth talking about that. And it's also worth talking about the name tabloid. And should anyone get mixed up, it's actually a newspaper you can open. A broadsheet is the one that, you know, like the New York Times, you have to unfold and then open up big. But I think we all kind of know she's talking about the, sort of the National Enquirer and maybe not like the Boston Herald or the Chicago Sun-Times that open up the same way. But are they more vicious here in the U.S. or are they more vicious in the U.K.? Because Meghan sees both. She's back and forth.
Yes, actually, well, of course, all of that is a very subjective judgment call. I will say, though, the role of the tabloids, they often uncover things that the broadsheets never go near. And they uncover, you know, affairs of members of the royal family, even that, for example, the broadsheets don't. So I do think that there is a place for them. They're making money, and they're making money, though, as many people have thought over the ages in a rather salacious way. But salacious news is what sells. Nobody's selling media by saying that, you know, people are going to work today and they're getting up and they're having their coffee and they're paying their taxes. So salacious sells, and that's what they base this on. What I would say is, in terms of either side of the Atlantic, in the UK, they don't let anything go, and they expect something from the royal family. They expect that the royal family serves, and the royal family is there to serve the nation. And I think that's something that she never really either understood, took the time to understand, and that's what she claimed. However, she recently just contradicted herself, because in the very interview that you mentioned, she also said that her husband, Prince Harry, talked about with great privilege comes responsibility. So now she's contradicted the very point that she didn't understand the royal family.
Welcome back to Banfield. Meghan Markle says tabloids are toxic and clickbait makes you cruel. I'm with royal watcher and marketing expert Hilary Fordwich. Okay, Hilary, I want to play this moment from Meghan's talk with the New York Times, in which she really said that scrolling through content turns us into bad people. Have a look at this.
Right now, if you're getting paid for the most clicks and you're getting more clicks when people are hate clicking on things, then without question, you are perpetuating a cycle, especially in the entire period of lockdown, right? In lockdown, let's say someone before that had, I don't know, 5 hours a week that they could invest in just scrolling online. During lockdown, in the absence of being out of the house or being at work, Maybe you're spending 50 hours online. You're becoming indoctrinated. You're becoming conditioned to be cruel.
You know, Hilary, she gets vilified a lot, but I think she makes a lot of sense there.
Well, yes. The only thing I would say is that there's the assumption that you be cruel. Why couldn't you be really nice? Why couldn't you be really positive to all your friends and supportive? And when you see friends and families material, be supportive. For example, on LinkedIn, we talked about business development wise, marketing wise. It's a great way to share positive content and to be supporting great causes and to see the great causes that other companies are sharing and to be very positive in the marketplace and in the business world. So I think she actually is coming from a very negative angle there. The other point I would make is, I think one of the things that I don't think that either Meghan Markle or Prince Harry are considering, and you mentioned before the break about almost facetiously about, George Washington maybe rolling in his grave. In the US, it's not for me to say what Americans think, but generally, I don't know that there was a lot of animosity necessarily towards the royal family these days. 1 million Americans work for British companies and 1 million British people work for American companies. So there's so much interaction and business across the Atlantic. And actually, one of the big concerns is they're almost stirring up this international animosity. Because to be pointing fingers, both either sides of the Atlantic at the tabloids, or whether it's her pointing at the Instagram and all the different websites and saying that they're very negative, that's a very negative thinking. And it's not good internationally. And it's not good for the royal family to be wading into anything. And she may say she's not a member of the royal family or think she's not, but she's sure using her title.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the notion that George Washington could be rolling in his grave. I thought that because it was revealed to Wired magazine that Harry had been emailing with Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, and they'd been chit-chatting prior to January 6th. And in fact, Harry said that on January 5th, he warned Jack Dorsey that his platform could be actually used, if you can believe it, to, maybe start a revolution or something of the sort. Have a look at how Harry put it.
Yes.
Jack and I were emailing each other prior to January the 6th, where I warned him that his platform was allowing a coup to be staged. That email was sent the day before, and then it happened, and I haven't heard from him since.
Harry was ghosted. I found the whole thing just so alarming to hear that a Brit was warning an American leader, so to speak, the Americans are coming, the Americans are coming. Didn't you find the irony in that?
Well, yes, it's ironic. And also what he was doing was thwarting royal protocol. He should know better that royals aren't to wade into domestic political issues. And that's what he's doing. If he was out to have any remaining titles from him stripped, he would be doing the right thing, because there's now been a great uprising, great disgust about this in the UK to have their titles stripped. Also, what's I think important to think about is the fact that what he didn't do was he didn't talk about Maxine Waters inciting violence and saying that it was quite okay to accost somebody in a restaurant or publicly, any kind of politician or anybody that you disagree with, you can go up and you can accost them. So what he's also done is he was picking a political side. So not only did he wade into politics, he was picking a political side. And I think that doesn't sit well on both sides of the Atlantic. It's very polarizing, and it's not good for international relations.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.